Welcome back to Thrive by the Rising Muse. I'm Vida,
I'm Natty,
and
and we
we're
are
here
here to
to thrive.
thrive. Let's start with something honest. Sometimes the moment you finally ask for help is the moment everything starts to feel harder.
Mm-hmm,
Yes, it is.
mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. Not lighter,
Mm-mm.
not clearer, but harder.
It is.
Mm-hmm,
You might have thought therapy would feel like a relief, like exhaling after holding your breath for years.
mm-hmm. Like answers, like peace, like finally being okay.
Uh-huh. But instead, you find yourself more emotional, more aware, more tired.
Mm-hmm. And you leave sessions feeling exposed, like something old has been stirred up,
Hmm.
like you've opened a door you don't know how to close.
Hmm. And that's when the question starts. Why do I feel worse? Am I doing this wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Is therapy supposed to feel like this?
What if the discomfort isn't a sign of failure? What if it's a sign of honesty?
Hmm. What if the unraveling isn't harm, but healing in motion?
Hmm. Today, we're talking about what it really looks like when therapy is working,
Hmm. Even when it does not feel good.
right? Even when it feels slow.
Even when it feels heavy.
Hmm.
So, we're here to talk about healing as it actually happens with questions, with grief, with faith and doubt, sometimes sitting side by side.
Yes. Today's episode is for anyone who has ever wondered if something was wrong with them.
Hmm.
Into my shirt.
Yeah,
My
undiagnosed.
shirt says undiagnosed, but something don't feel right.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Because therapy didn't feel empowering right away.
Mm-mm. It's for the person who feels more sensitive now than before.
Yeah. For the one who's grieving things they didn't expect to grieve.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yes.
For the one who's tempted to quit because it hurts to look this closely.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was getting counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my counselor I did not want to go through counseling because I did not want to go back and relive
Right.
what happened to me.
Right.
And she explained to me
Mm-hmm.
that if you do not take care of a sore
Mm-hmm.
while it's healing, it will get infected
Right.
and it will never heal properly.
Right.
And then it'll stay sore, and every time you hit it,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to hurt.
Right.
But she says that when you do go through that uncomfortable, painful
Mm-hmm.
period of um, cleaning it
Mm-hmm.
and then putting medicine on it
Mm-hmm.
and rewrapping it with clean bandage or gauze or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you will see that it will start healing
Right.
like it's supposed to.
Right.
And therapy is like that
Right.
because I understand you don't want to go back, you don't want to relive.
Mm-mm.
But in order for you to be healed
Right.
fully,
Yes.
you got to go back.
Because you need to clean the stuff.
That's because it's going to get ugly before it gets good. But the thing is, focus on it's going to get good.
Yes.
Once I get through this
Mm-hmm.
and heal properly, we go on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
We want to say this clearly before we go any further. Heart does not mean broken,
And hard doesn't mean you're failing.
and heart does not mean God is absent.
Absolutely not. Sometimes hard means the truth is finally being named.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. And naming truth is sacred work.
Mhm. So, like I said, we were going to talk about what happens when therapy is working, even when it feels hard.
Mhm,
So, one of the first signs, or one of the first signs that therapy is working is awareness.
mhm.
And awareness can deeply be uncomfortable. You
Yes.
start noticing
Yeah.
things.
Mhm. Because you start noticing things you used to move past
Hmm.
very quickly.
Right.
But now you got patterns,
Hmm.
you got reactions, emotions you used to override.
And it is true. When once you start healing, you're like, wait a minute. This is what I do. Wait a minute. Like one of the things that I had to learn, um, that I realized is it's not healthy for me to eat in front of the television,
Mm,
because when I was younger, I was food meant freedom,
mhm,
and I was given a plate that was the same size as a grown man,
mm,
and if I didn't clean it, I was not allowed to go out, and that was not my mama. My caretakers
mhm.
were never the best ones. So what I used to do, the television was on in the living room. I used to focus on the TV, disconnect my sense of fullness, and clean the plate
So you can go outside.
so I could go outside. That's where my obesity comes from,
Mhm.
aside from other stuff. But because I turned off the, which is a new word I learned this week, is well, apparently I haven't learned it yet. Satiety is being satisfied.
Mhm.
And I'm just recently recovering that sense because I broke it when I was 8,
Mhm.
and it has taken me years and years and years, well, almost 40 plus years to tell my brain, turn it back on.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So those are the kinds of things you override. Before therapy, many people survive by not noticing. And
Right.
that's what I did. I was like, I don't know. They just function.
Mhm.
We function. We perform.
And
And we
we push
push through.
through. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy gently interrupts the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It says, let's slow this down.
Mm-hmm.
And we're saying, why? Why? Why can't we just go by it quickly?
This didn't happen in a moment. And like you said, slowing down can feel like pain,
Mhm.
not because things are worse,
Mhm.
but because you're no longer numb.
Right.
But the thing is, the fact, okay, if going back to the sore in the hand, let's just say, if you have a big gash and you're trying to go fast, just put some water and a little band-aid, that ain't gonna heal nothing. You have to spend the time taking maybe stitches, letting it heal, putting some neosporin.
Mhm.
You have to. It if the deeper the wound, the longer it's going to take because there's more to go to clean out.
Okay, let me give you this example.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence and his hip replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Even though on the outside it looked like he was healed,
Mm-hmm.
the doctor said it could take up to a year
Mm-hmm.
for him to fully heal on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So even though the stitches were taken
Mm-hmm.
out and you have no more scab over it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and it's like, oh, you've healed.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're still healing on the inside.
Right.
The outside looks like it's healed.
Yes.
The inside knows it's not healed.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
And scripture reflects this truth. Search me, O God, and know my heart.
That prayer sounds gentle,
Mm,
but being known requires honesty.
yes, it does.
And when we say, search me, oh God, He's going to show you things you didn't want to see. Mm-hmm.
Because he knows every bit of you.
Right.
And honestly, often stings and it often hurts,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still worth it.
Yeah, because it's part of the healing process.
Mhm.
And, but yeah, when we tell God to show us stuff, mm,
Well, I don't wanna have surgery because it's gonna hurt after,
right.
but it's gonna save your life,
And
but
it's,
I don't wanna hurt.
well, it was like when I had my shoulder surgery, which is the only big surgery I've had. Um, my shoulder the surgery hurt,
Mhm,
and then I went through PT. That was not fun,
mhm,
but I don't have that pain anymore.
mhm,
If I had not had the surgery, I was I would have been worse by now, and that
mhm,
original pain would have still been there.
mhm.
So let's talk about the grief you did not expect in therapy.
Another reason therapy can feel harder before it feels better is grief.
Oh yeah. Not just grief over what happened, but grief over what didn't. And yes, that is so true because I know there were things that in my life, different things
Mhm,
that I wish had a different outcome, that I wish I would have done something different, or that I wish other people that I assign responsibility
mm,
would have done something different. And my grief for many years was you didn't do what you were supposed to,
mhm,
or I didn't react the way I was supposed to because I thought I probably should have fought and I went into freeze mode.
mhm,
And I'm like, what happened to me?
mhm.
Hmm.
Exactly. The childhood that you didn't get,
Yeah.
the support you needed but never received it,
All of the above.
all of the above. The version of yourself that had to grow up too fast.
Oh, girl, I've been an adult since I have memory of
You're
myself.
probably born as you know.
I think I had 3 years of childhood.
Mm,
After that, it was on and popping.
okay. At least you had 3.
You didn't have 3 years.
Mhm,
You didn't have three, and I think I had 3 years because I don't have memory of that. And the pictures look like I I was enjoying myself with the toys.
mhm, mhm,
Therapy does not create grief. It gives grief permission to manifest.
mhm.
Mhm.
And grief, when finally acknowledged, can feel overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
Jesus wept, not because he lacked faith, but because love makes loss visible.
Oh yeah.
And he lost his friend.
Right. If you're grieving things you didn't realize you'd lost, that's not regression.
That's integration.
Yeah, because when you have trauma, parts of yourself are broken into pieces. And as you're healing, you're becoming whole.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, why do we feel more emotional after the session? Well, many people say, I feel okay in therapy, but afterwards, I fall apart.
Mhm. That's actually very common.
Mm-hmm.
I have been there,
Yeah.
and that is so true
Mm-hmm.
because therapy opens emotional doors
Mm-hmm.
and the nervous system continues processing after the session ends.
And I'm the type of person that I replay things in my head all the time. So while I'm in a therapy session, I'm just talking, we're working whatever we're working. So I'm concentrating on this. I don't have my aha moments until I'm in the car or get home and I'm replaying the whole thing and I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Boom. Yeah. I tell you, I'm slow, but I get there. Think of therapy as opening a window. Fresh air comes in, but so does dust that's been settled for years.
Your system is reorganizing. That's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. God often does his deepest work in the quiet aftermath, after the conversation, after the prayer, after the awareness.
Rest is part of healing, not a failure to cope.
And yeah, how many times we're running raggedy and nothing can until you rest,
Mm.
then your brain can catch up.
And you wake up and say, "Oh, I needed that. I feel so much better."
Right,
Yep.
right. What happens when therapy challenges your faith? Hmm.
For some people, therapy brings up spiritual tension. Questions like, why didn't prayer fix this?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
Why am I still struggling?
Hmm.
Did I miss something spiritually?
Is this whole concept of people that say, well, God is God. Why couldn't he just go with the magic wand and fix everything?
Because he's not a magician.
I know, but that's sometimes the whole, well, why did he make me this way? Or why did I have to go through that? And sometimes it makes sense once you heal. But when you are still broken,
Going through it.
no.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Why can't I just get to the other side of through?
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do. Get to the other side and I go through it. Just jump over to the end.
Yeah. That sounds like the Israelites trying to cut through, ended up 40 years
Yeah,
wandering.
yeah,
Therapy doesn't compete with faith, it just clarifies
yeah.
it.
Jesus healed people holistically, mind, body, and soul.
Needing support does not mean your faith is weak. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Needing support does not mean your faith is weak.
Right.
Stop hearing those nonsense people that say that you are not a strong Christian if you're seeking therapy, that you are not praying enough, that you're not doing enough devotionals. One thing has nothing to do with the other. And sometimes we need someone to help us achieve the healing that we need, because when we're in the problem, it's hard to see outside. And somebody else that has not been there can let you see the light and the window.
Mhm.
So think of them as an instrument of God.
Mhm.
That's why we have Christian counselors. Sometimes is somebody in the clergy that's doing the therapy. But think about, the fact that you need help does not mean you weaken your faith.
Right. A foolish Christian
Right.
turns downhill, but a wise one
Right.
accepts help.
The problem is, and this is why this is a personal pet peeve of mine. You have people that are quote unquote influencers, people who, and in faith happens just like in any field. Like if you're into working out, you see these people that are the so-called gurus of working out, and you listen to what they eat, what they drink, what the exercise they do. If you want to learn how to cook and you have certain chefs that you think are the top of the line, you watch their videos. What are their recipes? Blah blah blah. With faces is because it's human nature. It's not too much different.
Mhm.
And you have these people that you think are solid Christians, and that what they speak is wisdom, and that what they're telling you comes from a place of wisdom, which is not. In this case, it comes from a place of ignorance and legalism.
Mhm.
Um, and they say, well, if so and so who has their life together, which you see them 2 minutes on Instagram, doesn't mean they have their life together.
Mhm.
Then there must be something wrong with me when I need to go to a therapist or take a medication, when I'm needing help, then that means I'm not strong enough. And that is such a lie. It is such a lie.
Have you ever seen a person? The hair is perfect, makeup perfect, clothes perfect,
Hmm.
shoes, accessories, even the way they carry
Hmm.
themselves. And you look at them and say, now that's a person that's got it all together. Oh, that's a lot from the pit of hell, people.
Yes.
Because we can fix up, we can dress up our hurts, can't we?
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, we can dress them up in beautiful colors and designer clothes and
Mhm.
shoes and handbags and jewelry and, you know, our hair just perfect. whether it's yours or you bought it. Hey,
It's still yours.
it's still yours, okay? Long as they don't repossess it, you good to go. But
They repossessing it.
it's a joke.
Oh, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Go ahead. I was like, wait.
Think about when we come in trip,
Mhm.
okay? Because I know I can't speak for no other culture except black folks.
Mhm.
All right. I was raised that when you go to church, you wear your finest. My grandmother, God rest her soul, I miss you, Liz. My grandmother would start on Thursday getting her Sunday outfit together.
That's too
Yeah.
much work.
Girl, that's where I'm totally casual now. She would start with a dress and lay it on the bed in her extra bedroom.
Oh, Lord.
And then she would get, because she got to get her earring, as they used to call them earbobs. She had to get her earrings. She had to get her necklace, her bracelet, her lace gloves.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. The right lipstick.
Wow.
Okay? Because if you're wearing soft colors, you're not going to wear
Red.
bright red. You got to match your lipstick to the color. And then her stockings. Her
I believe stockings were
undergarment.
made by the devil.
Oh,
First.
they were. They were. They came from the pit of hell.
Yes.
And her shoes. But this starts on a Thursday for 4 days later.
That's too much work.
And to top it off, the perfect hat.
I was going to say the hat.
The perfect hat. That's how I was raised with my grandmother going to church. People got dressed up to go to church. But do you know how many people that look sharp as a tack like Elizabeth Chappelle did? Do you know how jacked up they are under all that makeup?
Because when you get to church, how are you, sister? Blessed and highly favored.
Yes, in the Lord.
In the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
All is well in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's cutting my power. My husband's not beating me. The children are not acting out.
Mm-mm.
Everything is
Everything
beautiful.
is perfect.
Yes.
Just perfect.
Mhm.
And my cousin Jack,
Uh-huh.
I'll text her and say, "How you doing today?" "Oh, I'm blessed in the Lord." I let her get there. I said, "Now, how you really doing?"
Yeah.
Okay, because we know the jargon.
Oh, yeah.
We know what to say, when to say it.
Yes.
Okay? We were raised learning that.
Christianese.
Uh-huh. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty,
Yeah. Yep.
if we really showed up in public
Oh, my God.
the way we were feeling and what was going on inside of us, now that's tore up from the floor up right there.
Yes, ma'am.
We are all jacked up, but we do everything that we can to cover it.
Yeah.
And that's why we go so many years suffering.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you need support does not mean your faith is weak.
Mhm.
It means your humanity is acknowledged.
Yes.
You are not a god. You are human.
Yeah.
And you can't do everything by yourself.
And you're not fault free.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're full of fault.
Well, dog.
God often works through people.
Mm-hmm.
God often works through processes, and he often works through time.
Which means that if you need help, you need another person because, like I said, that may be the person that shows you where the window or the door is.
Mm-hmm.
But because, oh no, it was the joke that you were saying the other day about the person, God's going to pick me up. First goes the person with the bike. Then goes the person with a motorcycle, I can't remember the whole thing. And then the person with the car, they all offer ride.
You let all of them pass you.
Yeah.
Okay. The bike comes by and you say, "No, thank you. I'm waiting for God."
Mm-hmm.
And then the motorcycle comes by. "No, thank you. I'm waiting for God."
Mm-hmm.
And then the car comes by. "No, thank you. It's too small. I'm waiting for God to show up." And then you're just sitting there and you say, "God, Where were you? Why didn't you show up? He said, I did.
I'll send you 3 people.
I showed up 3 different times and you turned me down 3 different times.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So while we're looking for God,
Mm.
that's why we have to get into the scriptures.
Yes.
We have to meditate and pray
Yes.
so that we can recognize the voice of God.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Healing is rarely instant.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know a healing that's instant.
No, me neither.
Mm-mm. But it is definitely intentional.
Mm-hmm. Know that resistance is not failure.
Mhm.
Let's talk about resistance. The urge to cancel the session. I don't want to deal with this.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
The urge to change the subject. To say, I'm fine now. I went to 2 sessions. I'm good. Everything is fixed.
Yeah, my therapist said they have never seen anyone that just healed just like that.
I'm just special, so I'm a super healer.
I don't even want to be near you. Mhm. Resistance is not rebellion, it's protection.
Yeah, you're protecting yourself from
Mhm.
the issue.
Mhm.
Parts of you have learned to survive by avoiding pain. So
Mhm.
the last thing you want to do is deal with the pain.
Right,
And those parts don't disappear just because you're starting to heal.
right,
Yeah. You
right.
get like, I don't want to go there.
Therapy honors those parts instead of shaming those parts.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for protecting me. We don't need that strategy anymore.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Yes.
Mhm. And the good thing is that God is patient with our pace. He does not rush transformation. We are in a hurry.
Yes,
He's
we are.
not.
Yes, we are.
So how you can care for yourself between sessions.
Mhm. If therapy feels heavy, what happens between sessions really matters.
Mm-hmm. Hydration. I always say there's nothing more holy than a nap and a snack. Rest.
That's that nap.
Yes, the nap. See, I told you. Gentle routines. These are no luxuries.
They're regulations that we need.
Right.
We need all that.
Right.
Scripture reminds us that even Jesus withdrew to rest. Healing requires space.
Mhm. And if you're tired, that's not weakness. It's evidence that work is happening.
Mhm.
And when you're working emotionally, it's sometimes more exhausting than when you're working physically.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Definitely.
So let's talk about a grounding moment.
Mhm.
Let's pause together for a moment.
Are we breathing again?
Why not?
Just don't tell nobody to pull over on the freeway.
No, but place your feet on the ground. Yeah?
Mhm.
If you're driving, you can't do that because you can't take the foot out of the pedal.
Can't do that, drivers.
Okay.
Mhm. Notice the support beneath you.
And take a slow breath in
Mhm. Pause.
and a long breath out.
Mhm.
There is so much um benefit in breathing that I know you make fun of me because I put these in the part of the episodes, but there is. Sometimes we just need to stop and get our bodies centered.
Mhm.
Therapy doesn't demand urgency. Healing unfolds at the speed of safety. And the safer we feel, the faster we're going to heal.
Okay, somebody needs to hear this. Healing does not unfold at the speed of light.
No, not at all.
Okay. Healing unfolds at the speed of safety.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to go slowly so that you can feel safe
Right.
and be in a safe space. May not feel good,
Mhm.
but You need to be in a safe space. So stop rushing.
Let me tell you, I think it was the first devotional that I wrote. Um, I was I was in the process of healing. I was a CR, and I can't remember specifically what was it, but there was something I was writing about, and I just couldn't write about it
Mm,
because I was not ready to deal with it.
mm,
And I kept coming to the paper, well, the computer, and I just couldn't type the words. And typing is so easy for me. You just go there and type the words.
mhm,
I just could not and it took me more than a month trying every afternoon when I came from work to sit down and write my book.
mhm.
I couldn't until finally I was able to. During that month, I was working and healing and stuff. And that's when I started being able to write about things. So, yeah, because I didn't feel safe going into that place.
And you had to wait for a breakthrough.
Yes.
That's what you had to, that's why it took.
Mm-hmm.
You said it took you a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's different for every
Right.
person. And right now, you are safe enough to breathe.
And that's why, for me, breathing is so important because if nothing else, you're safe enough to breathe.
Mhm.
The myth of finishing healing. I'm going to give you the shortcut. It ends when you go to the presence of the Lord. That's the
How you jump to the end?
well. I was just giving you the headline.
Mm,
See, one of the quiet pressures people carry into therapy is the idea that healing has an end point. Like one day you'll wake up and you'll be done.
mhm.
Yeah.
Done processing, done grieving, done feeling tender.
But healing isn't something you complete. It's not a marathon, it's not a course.
Mhm,
It's something you learn how to live inside of.
mhm.
Mhm.
Therapy isn't about becoming unbothered.
Right.
It's about becoming more
Oh,
honest.
yeah. More responsive, more
Mhm,
compassionate towards yourself.
mhm,
And I have experienced that throughout my healing is the fact that I know I was harsher on me than on anybody else.
mhm,
And as I've been healing, I've been being more gentle with me.
mhm,
I've been lowering my own expectations of me. Not that I don't hold myself accountable, but give myself some grace.
mm. Exactly.
Right. So it's like, and I know probably the conversation we were having earlier didn't show much of that because sometimes it's a process and sometimes you need reminders because you never finish this.
Mhm,
Um, I was saying how I was feeling like and we're in this together, but I'm feeling I'm responsible for certain things and I was behind. And you reminded me, you've been sick for 2 weeks. What you wanted to do?
hello.
And I'm like, what did I say? Absolutely nothing.
Mm,
Because it was like, you know what? Yes, you have to give yourself grace
mhm.
about the fact that certain things you were not able to do
Life happens.
because, I was sick for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And but in the past, you telling me that was not enough.
No, it wasn't, but does it make more sense
Oh,
now?
yes, it does. I'm much better.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you had to be down for 14 days before it started making sense to you.
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, but oof, those were 2 rough weeks.
Those were 2 rough weeks for me too. Scripture doesn't describe transformation as a finish line. It is continuous. It describes it as a renewal. And believe me, it's not just one renewal in your life.
Mm-mm.
Renewal can be daily,
Mm-hmm.
ongoing, grace filled. If therapy feels endless right now, that doesn't mean it's failing. It means you're releasing the fantasy that healing makes life painless.
And that's a mature kind of faith because you realize that we live in an imperfect world.
Mhm.
that things may still trigger you from, after healing.
Mhm.
That you may have some flashbacks of things and reactions of things even after healing. And it makes you human.
Yes.
It just makes you human.
Mhm.
Well, what happens, because this is so perfect, when other people don't understand your process? Because you're like, first of all, and I think you and I've talked a lot about this recently, you can't fix anybody but yourself.
That's it.
So when you're starting to work on yourself and people start seeing changes, that's usually not easy because they're like, what's with you? You're not acting the same. And you have the expectation that people are going to be happy for you. And that's not always the case.
Not always. Another layer of difficulty in therapy is relational.
Their relationships.
When the people around you don't understand what you're doing.
I remember the day I remember where I was. I was driving down from Ashford and Woody with my mom in the car. And was explaining to her that I have anxiety. About what? I said, Mom, it's not about a situation, it's a condition, and blah, blah, blah. But what's wrong with you? You're anxious. Well, right now, this conversation is not helping.
Just forget everything I said, okay?
They might say, why are you still talking about this?
Yeah.
Didn't you deal with this already? It's been 10 years.
See, that's how you push people back into that turtle shell.
Yes.
Okay, he stick his head out,
Mm-hmm.
but then when he feels danger,
Mm-hmm.
goes back in the shell.
Yep.
Well, we also go back in the shell too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when the people around us don't understand
Right.
or they're not trying to understand.
Or because of their own issues. Because let's say you're healing from something and you realize that you need to make amends,
Mhm.
and you come back and say, back in 1995,
Mhm.
we had this incident, and you're still, you know, crying about that. You're still, they don't want to deal with the problem.
Right.
So they don't want you to bring it up
Mhm.
because it also messes up with their own safety,
Mhm.
the feeling of safety,
Mhm.
because they're not ready for it.
Mhm. And it's gonna mess up their protective,
Shell.
that invisible protection
The wall.
that you have.
Hmm.
They don't want to deal with it. It's
Hmm.
like, it's not gonna be that kind of day. I don't want.
Or if you go to someone that's done something to you and you tell them, I forgive you,
I,
and
I did that.
they were like,
You wanna know what their response was?
yeah.
I went to a person and I told them, I forgive you for A, B, C, D, and E
Mm-hmm.
through Z.
Mm-hmm.
And the response they gave me, I don't have anything to be forgiven for. Really?
All righty.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Nothing at all.
All right. Sounds good to me. They will tell you, you seem more emotional lately.
Mm. That can make you question yourself.
Hmm. But healing often looks disruptive before it looks peaceful.
Yes, it does.
Boundaries change,
Mhm.
awareness increases,
Mhm.
and tolerance for unhealthy dynamics decreases. And you get to the point where you have to decide certain things.
Mhm.
Either you don't deal with those people,
Mhm.
and you set that distance, or if you have to deal with those people, you take the things they say differently. uh that's one of the things I had to do with my mama when it came to my mental health. It was like whatever she said, it just like I was not listening
Mhm.
because I knew I that was not a conversation we could have because she could understand. One of the things I told her once, you could benefit from therapy. And she told me, wait a minute. She told me, well, why can't you do it? I pay for your college. So why don't you do it? Mama, ethically, I can't treat you.
Mm-mm. Family, friends.
Wait a minute. And emotionally, I don't want
I
to.
know that's right.
I don't want to deal with this.
I would not be what a therapist is supposed to be.
No.
We end up fighting every day.
That's right. So I said, ethically, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, I don't want to. I don't want to hear all that.
And then you also think about our parents were an older generation.
Yes. Mine was from the silent generation, not even boomers or your mom too, right?
Yeah.
Silent generation, yeah.
In the 40s. She was born in the 40s.
Yeah.
So they were the silent generation.
Right.
I'm the boomer generation.
Therapy was not a thing unless you were in a padded room bouncing your head against the wall.
Mhm.
You know.
Now, I have to say that my grandmother only had an 8th grade education,
Mm-hmm.
but she was the wisest person I have ever known.
Wisdom and education have nothing to do
That's
with
what
each
I'm
other.
saying.
Oh, yeah.
Wisdom comes from God,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
And experience.
Experience, insight,
Mm-hmm.
and wisdom comes from God,
Right.
okay? But I would sit down with her and soak up every word she said like it was air.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of effect that she had on me. But she wasn't the kind of person that tell you need to be over this by now.
Mm-mm.
No.
And
She's the one that'll walk through it with you.
And wisdom and intelligence have nothing to do with education either.
Mm-mm.
Because I remember having a friend that had high school education. I have a master's degree. I have never been able to talk to someone about so many topics than with this person. We would sit for hours. When I tell you hours, like until 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were talking politics, religion,
Everything.
economy,
Mhm.
science,
Mhm.
all kinds of, literature, kind of broad topics. And they had a high school diploma,
Mhm.
and I have a master's degree. So education is not what makes you. I mean, it makes you educated, but it doesn't make
Make you
you. It
wise.
doesn't make you wise or smart.
Mm.
We have a lot of educated fools.
Yeah, we do.
And so the fact that you have pieces of paper on the wall doesn't mean that you're wise or that you're smart.
Mm.
You can pass a test and not know what happened with that information.
Mhm.
So, education means you went through the class and passed it.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you learned it. It doesn't mean that you actually, are wise or that you're smart.
Right.
That has nothing to do with that.
Jesus experienced this. Growth created distance before it created clarity.
Mm-hmm. And if therapy is changing how you relate, that's not dysfunction. That's discernment developing.
Mhm.
Not everyone will recognize your growth, but that doesn't invalidate that it's real. And like I was saying, sometimes when those people don't recognize it, you have to set some boundaries around them.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely.
So, what happens with therapy and the loss of all identities?
Old
Old. Yeah.
identity.
Therapy often asks a deeper question. Who am I when I'm no longer in survival mode? Mm.
For many people, survival became an identity. The strong one, the helper, the one who doesn't need much.
Hmm. Well, when therapy loses those roles, it can feel destabilizing. You know why I looked at you?
Now, I don't know why you looked at me.
The one that doesn't need much, the helper, the strong one, doesn't ring a bell. Okay. So, because letting go of survival strategies can feel like losing yourself.
Yes. But scripture reminds us that pruning precedes fruit. S- Something must be released for something new to grow.
Hello. If you feel uncertain about who you are becoming, that doesn't mean you're lost.
Mm-mm. It means you're no longer confined to who you had to be.
Oh, yeah. So, what happens when progress feels invisible?
Mm. Sometimes therapy is working, but there's nothing dramatic to point to. No breakthrough moment, no big revelation.
Just small shifts,
Mhm.
pausing before reacting, naming feelings faster, leaving situations sooner. I'm sorry, that is not small.
What?
Leaving situations sooner.
Mm,
I think that's a breakthrough.
mm,
The fact that you are able to recognize I'm in an unsafe situation, that is, and unsafe doesn't mean physically, it means this is about to piss me off. um, where yeah, I don't need to put up with this. I need to skedaddle. The fact that you have that awareness when before you were just sucking it up and taking it in and taking all the abuse or the bad relationship or leaving the situation when it's healthy,
mhm,
I will not call that a small thing. I think that's a big step
mhm,
because it requires awareness of yourself
mhm,
and awareness of the pattern of how that relationship or that situation goes.
mhm,
Because you say leaving sooner, that means you've been there for
mhm,
and it has gotten bad. And you're now being able to recognize the pattern,
mhm.
your reactions, and what's going to happen. So you're like, uh, mm-mm. Crazy example. You're at a party with the same people. And once they start drinking, there goes the fight. And this day, now that you're aware of those things, as soon as you see that one of the bottles is empty, you know what's about to happen.
Mhm.
Time for me to go
Start
home.
backing up to the door.
Right.
Check all your exits,
And
okay?
I'm out of here.
These changes don't announce
Right.
themselves, but they matter.
Oh, yeah. Jesus often healed gradually, sight returning into stages. The guy that he healed, he had to wait until he got over there and washed his face and his eyes to then gain his sight. It wasn't right there when he told him he was healed.
Mhm,
Strength rebuilding slowly.
mhm. Quiet progress is still progress.
Absolutely. And often is the most sustainable kind. We talk a lot about weight loss here because, we're working on that.
We are working on
And when you lose weight fast, your organs get a shock and they can be messed up.
it.
But
Yes.
when but when you're doing things slowly, healthy, those are the things you can keep.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the sustainable things. And with emotions, small changes are also sustainable changes.
Yeah, you can't just go in and say, I'm not gonna worry anymore.
Oh, you can say it. It's not going to happen.
It'd be a waste of words, but instead of saying, I'm just not gonna worry anymore, what about I'm not gonna let it
Mm,
paralyze me?
right.
Something like that. Hmm. We want to create space here, not to analyze, not to fix, just to reflect.
If therapy feels heavy right now, notice where you feel that in your body.
Mm.
No judgment, just awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel it in your chest or your stomach or your shoulders or your jaw?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Healing doesn't require urgency, it requires presence.
Definitely.
And you are allowed to be exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's okay not to be okay.
It is okay not to be okay.
I need to put that on a shirt.
I'm sure that
I'm
one is,
sure they have it,
they have
but
that one, but you need your own shirt.
yeah, but that's something that people need to know.
Hmm.
because people have been raised or either they train themselves that I gotta look like I have it all together.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but that kind of person,
Well,
very leery of that kind of person.
well, and going back to generations, one of the things that we were raised on is what happens in here stays in here. We can't talk about family problems outside the house, no matter how little or how big.
Hmm.
So if you spend your life hearing that, and then you grow up and you start your own life, and you keep all that stuff inside,
Hmm.
it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be a bigger problem.
Well, let's say that you've been hearing that growing up all of your life, you end up with a person like that.
Yeah, because usually you marry somebody from your same generation.
Uh-huh. You end up with a person like that.
Hmm.
Hmm. What you gonna do?
Yeah, nobody's talking.
Mm,
Nobody's talking, and you kind of pass those things to the next generation
definitely.
unless you are the one who breaks the cycle.
And in order to break a cycle, you definitely have to be intentional.
Yes.
You have to be present,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
And you got to be real.
Yes.
I'm breaking a cycle, but I can't tell you what it is.
Mm-mm.
The adversary wants to keep everything in secrecy. You mentioned growing up, everything that happened in this house stays in this house.
Mhm.
I grew up that way.
Mhm.
That was not good.
Mhm.
That was not good at
Mhm.
all.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't want to tell everybody all your
Oh
business,
no.
but
No.
hopefully there are some people in your life that you can trust and who are trustworthy.
Yeah.
Because we can trust people and they should not be trusted.
Right. And here's the thing. I know sometimes it's scary and sometimes it's painful,
Mhm.
but your healing has to matter more than your fear.
Mm.
That's the only way to break through. It's like, okay, yes, this hurts. Yes, I'm scared. But my healing is my need for healing and my desire for healing is so much more
Mhm.
that we're going to get through this.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a process and people are going to be annoying and you're going to get to the point of I don't care because my healing is more important than what you have to say, what you have to do, what's going on.
And the biggest thing is everybody's not going to be happy with it.
No, because some people have taken advantage of your brokenness. And now that you're setting boundaries and now that you may not be hanging out with certain people,
Mhm.
stuff, ooh, what's people? People, people, we say people. What, you're too good for us now?
Mm. Oh, that's the first thing they'll say.
Yes.
Oh, you think you better than we are down here?
Hmm.
Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. How many people you answer that way? When I was growing up, I was afraid to say that. But I was like, if those people were around now, like, you think you better than we are? Yes, I do. And I know I am.
I see that your healing has brought a lot of confidence
A
in
lot
you.
of confidence, boy. I remember when I was afraid of shadows, noises,
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Hmm.
And now,
Oh, watch out.
uh,
Mm. So, as we come to the close of today's episode, we want to remind you of something important.
mhm,
I'm sorry. If therapy feels hard right now, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong.
right. It may mean you're finally telling the truth to yourself, to God, and to someone safe.
Healing is not linear, it's layered.
Mhm. And you are allowed to take it one session, one breath, one moment at a time.
Sometimes that gets too much, 1 second at a time.
Mhm.
If this episode resonated with you, we'd love to stay connected beyond the space. You can find us on social media at The Rising News on all platforms.
Mhm. That's at the Rising Muse on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
And we want to invite you into a small but meaningful challenge with us.
Help us reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Every follow helps these conversations reach to someone who might feel alone in their healing.
Yes, someone questioning themselves, someone wondering if they're doing therapy right.
If you found value here, consider subscribing, sharing, or sending this episode to someone who needs it.
And as always, we want to share resources because your safety matters to us. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis, please dial 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
If it's a loved one who is experiencing a mental health crisis, please dial 911 or take them to the nearest emergency room.
If you believe you may be in a domestic violence relationship and need support, you can call 800-799-7233.
Or text 887-888 to connect with help discreetly.
Please make sure you are in a safe place when you are reaching out for help. If therapy feels hard today, may you remember, hard is not hopeless.
May you trust that awareness is not your enemy.
May you rest in the truth that healing unfolds in layers.
And may you know that you are not behind.
You are becoming whole. Thank you for spending this time with us. Until next time,
Don't forget to
to
thrive.
thrive.
Have a blessed day.
Bye bye.